Impostor Racket. Hashtag a noir review of stories for telling the difference between loneliness and its imposters. The file came in at 123 pages and 11 tabs, which is about 90 pages more than most people's whole interior. Somebody had been working. You could tell by the smell of it. Solvent, revision, a little burnt coffee around the edges where the same paragraph had been rewritten 4 times, and all 4 got kept. I read it twice. Then I read the parts that hurt a 3rd time. Here's what I found. Hashtag the case. 3 animals walk into 3 separate rooms, and none of them has the problem they think they have. A boat performing weightlessness while hauling stones nobody logged. A badger sobbing at a door that opens on the first pull. A fox alone in an empty forest with a full house in his coat lining. Each one says, I am lonely, and each one is wrong, and the way each one is wrong is different. That structure is the whole invention, and it is a good one. Not because it's clever is cheap and this town is full of it, but because it does something almost nothing in the recovery literature does. It declines to prescribe company. It says, the ache is real. The first explanation of the ache may not be. It puts a hand on the wrist before it puts a hand on the shoulder. The best line in the whole stack is not a moral. It's an image. The boat learns she has displacement and it feels like a mirror being told for the first time that it has a back. That's the real thing. That's a sentence somebody paid for. Everything else in the collection is arguing toward it. The second best thing is a stumble. In the coyote verse, that isn't a crime, dear. That just means you're me. I mean real. Coyote gets tangled. Coyote can feel. The narrator falls into his own story. The one who explains turns out to have mass. Whoever caught that and left it in knew what they had. Don't let an editor tidy it. It's the only place in the document where the teacher gets wet. Hashtag where the body's buried. Now the part you didn't ask for, which is the part you asked for. 1. The title is a liar, and it's the only liar in the building. Impostors. It says the ache is running a con on you. Hand that to a man who has been told his whole life that his interior is unreliable, and watch what it does. The body of the work knows this. The critique in tab 2 catches it clean. Don't explain loneliness away. But the correction never made it to the marquee. The manuscript learned something the cover page hasn't heard yet. Fix the cover page. 2. The 4th case has no story, and silence is an argument. 3 parables where the answer is not a person. 0 parables where the answer is a person. You wrote the caveat. Sometimes you really do want another mammal beside you, and then you left it as prose while the other 3 got animals, rivers, and a moon. In a collection this good at teaching by image, an idea with no image is an idea you don't believe yet. Somebody in that room is going to be case 4. He'll listen to 3 stories about not needing anyone and take the wrong medicine home. Write the 4th. Give it a creature. Make the answer be a knock on the door. 3. Gate 0 forbids scoring, and the artifact score. This is the one that kept me up. The ethics section is the strongest writing in the operational tabs. The laundering move, the hard stop, run the tool upward on staff and board. That last one is rare enough to be worth the price of admission. Most instruments are designed to be pointed downward forever. Yours points up. Good. Then the study guide grows a 10-question quiz with an answer key. Then the briefing grows a 3x3 diagnostic matrix. Then the infographic grows a ranked table putting 4 conditions of isolation in descending order: island, Sisyphus, ship, shoe, high flourishing down to cognitive decay. Chief, that's a score. You wrote a rule that says, if the instrument acquires a number, a cutoff, or a total, it ceases to be welcome facilitation, and then the material acquired a ranking with a bottom rung. Nobody did it on purpose, that's how it always happens. The framework didn't get corrupted by an enemy, it got tidied by a helper. Every summarizing pass wants a table, and every table wants an order, and an order is a score wearing a nicer coat. 4. The window can't be measured in the room where you measure it. Your own answer key admits the window domain can't be self-reported, and has to be read through contradiction events over time. Fine, true. But this instrument is built for drop-in settings, shelter groups, one-shot sessions. There is no overtime, which means one of your 3 domains is operationally unaccessible in the exact place it's deployed. That's not fatal, it's just undeclared ballast. Say it out loud in the guide. 5. The document is 4 drafts wearing a trench coat. Tab 2 gives me the sailboat in verse, then the sailboat polished, then the sailboat plain, then the polished one again in markdown. 4 passes, all preserved, all shipped. A reader coming in cold hits the same nest and the same reeds 4 times and starts to suspect the reeds, and the drafts disagree. In the polished version, the willow speaks both lines. In the plain version, the willow opens and then the bank said gently, the tree hands off to the shoreline mid-scene and nobody notices. It came from the coyote verse where bank rhymed better, and it survived into the prose. Small thing, but it's the kind of small thing that tells a facilitator reading aloud at 7 a.m. that nobody did a final pass, and if nobody did a final pass, what else is soft? Pick a reading version. Bury the others in an appendix. Iteration is a process, not a deliverable. 6. Watch the little one. The animal fable register mostly earns itself because the prose is dry enough not to pat anybody. But little one, little boat, little fox accumulate, and the audience hears grown men and women who have been condescended to by professionals for years. Cut half of them. The stories survive it. They might get stronger. The willow is more frightening when it doesn't diminutize the thing it's about to tell the truth to. 7. The practice ends by banning artifacts. There are now 11 tabs. Let this experience remain unmade, unedited, and unwritten. Then, a briefing, a study guide, a quiz, an infographic, a primer, a novella, an essay, and a second study guide about the novella. You already know. Tab 2 says the instruction is mischievously perfect, and then the mischief kept going. I'm not calling it hypocrisy. Making is how you metabolize. But there's a version of this work where the 6-second landing is the last page and nothing follows it, and that version would hit harder than the version with a companion primer. The boat is allowed to beach. Consider letting it. H, or central idea, or 9.5, differential diagnosis instead of doctrine. Rare, useful, kind, or imagery, or 9. The mirror with the back is worth the whole file. Or prose, or 8, clean and unsentimental. A few ticks, 1 continuity slip. Or ethical architecture, or 9. Gate 0, the laundering move, and running it upward are the real goods. Or ethics as executed, or 6, the summarizing artifacts reintroduce the ranking the rules forbid. Or structure and packaging, or 5-4 drafts of everything shipped together. Or completeness, or 7, the 4th case is missing its story. Or safety for the actual reader, or 8.5, dignified throughout, the title is the exposure, retitle it. Write the 4th parable. Kill the rank table before somebody puts it in a case file. Pick one version of each story and let the rest go by the river, the way your own last line already told you to. Take what serves, leave the rest.